So now Riley Gaines has gone from university to university, and she's finding her voice, speaking out about this, saying this is wrong, what is happening to women's sports. And one of the places she just went was San Francisco State University. Good to her, good for her. I'm sure she knew there'd be some pushback, but she's brave, this gal. She goes, and not only was she shouted down, Dennis, but the reports by Riley, her husband, and others, the Independent Women's Forum, who was supporting her there, say she was hit multiple times by a guy in a dress, that she was physically assaulted. Riley says, I was ambushed, physically hit twice by a man, and violently accosted and ambushed. Here is the videotape, in part, of Riley trying to get out of there under police protection.
Yeah, you fucking transphobic bitch. I fucking see it.
It's just me. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm coming. I'm good.
You crying. You fucking crying, bitch. Fuck you. Trans women are women. 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 Trans women are women.
Dennis, it's infuriating. And it makes me want, as you always say, to fight. I mean, not just to comment on these cases, but to fight, to actively fight these lunatics.
Well, it's great to be with you, Megyn. There is so much to be said. We could actually do the entire time together on this because it is enormous. Let's begin with the end. Trans women are women. So they are stating that something profoundly false is true. And the society is supposed to accept that. I read much of Orwell. He would be shocked at what has actually transpired in the West, that there are students at a university with the backing, I would say, of most of their professors, that biological men are women, that men give birth, men menstruate. I don't know if you know this, Megyn. You'll get a big kick out of this. I was on Bill Maher's show in the fall of 2019, right before the lockdowns. By the way, I never say before COVID. I say before lockdowns, after lockdowns. COVID is not the issue. The lockdowns are. I was on the show. By the way, all of your viewers and listeners can watch this. It's on YouTube. It's gone viral. And he was talking about Donald Trump as a liar. And I said, it doesn't compare to the left's lies. And he said, like what? I said, like America is systemically racist. That is a grand lie, a big lie. So is that men menstruate. And he started laughing. The panel I was with started laughing, and the entire audience started laughing. And he looked at me. Anyone can watch it. It's on YouTube. Just do Dennis Prager, Bill Maher, men menstruate. And he said, who says that? This is 2019. This is 3.5 years ago. And a man who is with it, who knows what's going on, he comments on the news, said, who says that? And now, if you don't say that, you are a transphobe. Within 2 years, it went from absurd to absurd if you deny it. That is the impact of leftist newspeak on the American people.
To say that men can menstruate is a lie, and that is what is said.
Wait, where did that?
You never heard it, right? Okay, check it out, folks.
Another comment. Riley Gaines is a hero. Good cannot be accomplished without courage. And it is the rarest of the human traits, courage. There are many nice people. There are many kind people. There are many honest people. There are extremely few courageous people. But good is not dependent upon people being nice as that is. It depends on people being courageous.
She's young. It took a lot. You remember they told the students who were at UPenn on Leah Thomas's swim team, you go to therapy if you can't get behind Leah Thomas. You need therapy. Leah's not the problem. You and your mental faculties are. So most of those women stayed silent. And if they spoke out at all, they did so anonymously. They were worried about not getting jobs after graduation if they spoke up for themselves. So for her to do this is very brave. And maybe you expect you're going to get some shouting, some protesting. You don't expect you're going to be physically assaulted by some trans activist who's a man assaulting a woman for standing up for women's rights.
That's correct. She is the outlier. All good is done by outliers. These kids are as scary as it gets. I'm going to say something which will probably get picked up by the left. But like you and I are kindred spirits. One has to say what is true and let the chips fall where they may. These kids remind me of Soviet and Nazi youth groups. I'm not comparing them to concentration camp guards or saying they want to open up in Auschwitz. But if you look at what Hitler Youth did prior to 1939, in the 30s, when there still was no Holocaust taking place, the way they would disrupt anyone who spoke against Hitler. If I showed people that video without sound and said, "Oh, this is taking place at San Francisco State," nobody would think a second about it. Oh, yeah. Oh, the only odd thing would be they were probably dressed a little more formally than those today. By the way, you commented on those in the video who were screaming and doing the FU with their middle finger at the camera. I would like to make another point on this that I wrote about and I documented the disproportionate role of women in hurting this society. They are the major activists among physicians and psychologists for the castrating of boys, the hormone blockers, and even the mastectomies with regard to girls. They are overwhelmingly the DEI administrators at colleges. And if you saw the demonstration, again, it was overwhelmingly female. There is I would say this. When I was at college, late 60s, early 70s, long time ago, that's when they came up with the slogan, "A woman without a man is like a fish without a bicycle." Well, it turns out that to a large extent, a woman without a man is not a fish without a bicycle, but a fish without water. And if people think that's sexist, let me make something very clear. I think that a man without a woman is like a fish without water. So we need each other. And that is not acknowledged.
Sure, you can go to Brazil or Colombia and get some crazy stuff done to your face, but why would you do that? Here's a real review from Genucel.com. Claire writes, "I absolutely love Genucel. My skin feels so good, tighter, younger, with a more even tone, and I only used it for a week. My advice for everyone, take a before picture." Then there's Jim, who makes another point, writing in, "Wife loves it. Ever since I purchased it for her, things got much more interesting after dark." Enough said. It's true. Nothing works like Genucel because it is a family recipe for over 20 years, made by a compounding pharmacist in small batches and always safe, cruelty-free, and natural. Right now, go to Genucel.com/MK60 and save over 70% off Genucel's most popular package. That's all their best stuff, including now their ultra retinol and dark spot corrector. Don't wait. Go to Genucel.com/MK60. All orders upgraded to free shipping, and every subscription order includes a complimentary spring spa box with 3 spa essentials, also free. Limited time. Visit now. Genucel.com/MK60. That's GENUCEL.com/MK60. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.